actually, in that case, I don't. That's why, Larry. I mean, I'm not a lawyer, and you're a dean in a law school. So, but
what do I know?
the franking privilege allows the unlimited mailing of letters by members of Congress. Right? You sign your name, and it gets sent out. And all I'm saying is we're going to extend that expense, that unlimited expense account for mailing, to all the costs of Congress. And the return for that
Does that include TV?
Hold on, no, this is the cost of running Congress. We're not talking about the campaigns.
Okay.
And in return for paying all the costs of government, you can't take anything. No free rides.
I understand that, but
you
how
want
about
to go
TV?
give a speech, we the taxpayers will pay for going to give that speech. I don't think the Supreme Court can argue that that violates the Constitution.
No, I'm not saying that is
Okay.
what would violate it. I'm saying that if you attempted to set rules for how much television they could be, I'm going to say two things, let you address both of them. That's one problem. And the other one is something that I just rail against and revile, but it's the fact Supreme Court cares not a whit for the preamble to the Constitution. It never has, and it acts as if the preamble doesn't exist.
Well, here's what I hope, Larry. I'm in the diagnosis of problems business, not the solution business.
Yeah.
Much easier business. I'm not a smart enough guy to be in the other business. But what I'm hoping to do here, after laying out the problems in free lunch and showing you through the lives of individual Americans, some of whom got rich, some of whom got ruined, how you are being forced to pay taxes that government never gets to many, many places that go to the pockets of rich people like Warren Buffett, the Walton family, Donald Trump, how we are destroying local businesses and replacing competition with government handcuffing the invisible hand of the market that Adam Smith wrote about, that will stimulate debate about what to do. Now, I offered a solution, the extension of the franking privilege to all the expenses of Congress, politician finance reform instead of campaign finance reform. What I hope to do with that is to stimulate the kind of discussion that you've raised here. And so lawyers who are watching this, sit down, get out a legal pad, think about, okay, how could I create a set of rules that this Supreme Court would have to approve that will reduce the influence of the moneyed class? How can we do this? Because, Larry, I firmly believe there is only one thing you can say or I can say that is un-American. We can't do anything about this. The whole idea of the United States of America is we don't need King George to tell us what to do. What a radical idea that was in the 1700s, that we will govern ourselves. And so long as we stick to that belief, we can solve any problem we have if we want to. We got rid of slavery. It cost 600,000 American lives, and we haven't cleaned up all the mess from it, but we got rid of it, and we've been making progress. Perhaps we're falling a little backwards in that, we judge people less today on the color of their skin than the content of their character. We're judging them too much on the content of their wallet. Women somehow got men to give them the right to vote. The only way they got it was men voted it for them. And we can solve this problem. We can have a government responsive to the people as a whole, which will make us a healthier, wealthier, more stable society. But we can't do it unless we start discussing, how are we going to accomplish this, and put the time into it. And the fact that lots of people have to work 2 jobs, and we have lots of women working not because they want to, but because they have to instead of raising their kids. The fact that we have removed all sorts of institutions from our society or reduced their size, like, for example, unions, that have been an important force for promoting some balance in the debate.
That's a very important point.
Yes, all of these things play a role, and nobody ever said it was going to be easy.
Yeah.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.